Hello, and welcome to another episode of Motor Press Play, Episode 8. Today we're going to talk about my experience just riding the canyons at Angeles Crest. And this is basically just my own experience. Usually I ride with people, I don't ride alone. So this is basically going to break down my experience as a new rider riding the canyons up in Angeles Crest. And we're joined today by a good friend of mine, Mikey. Mikey's been riding for about almost 20 years, and he's ridden every single bike you can think of. He's usually a Honda guy, but this is his first Yamaha. He's riding an R6, so he's kind of just gonna show me the ropes, kind of teach me like how to follow lines and things like that. So there's gonna be parts where he's gonna be like so far ahead of me, but basically he's just telling me, you know what, just ride your own pace, like stay within your limits. So I'm just gonna stay within my own limits and then just ride safely, and then you can see he's passing me up right now, so and we'll just go from there. So yeah, he's up there, he's ahead of me, and probably going around, I think 60 is probably the top speed I would go around here, just because like lately there's been a lot of cops around here, so kind of just taking it easy, and we'll see how we ride this canyons. It's a nice day. It's really it's super early. It's around 9 o'clock. So yeah, we're just kind of just riding through, heading to Newcomb. So we're just gonna keep going here. Yeah, sometimes when we're riding, you never know. You always gotta look at your rear view mirror or your side view, because sometimes you don't see, you're focusing on your turn, and then sometimes someone just comes from you behind like that, boom, like that's kind of dangerous. You can see up here, this guy's trailing my friend Mikey. That guy's just gonna come cut him in the corner like that, so it's a little dangerous. So you just gotta be careful when you're out there. Some guys want to go fast, so you kind of have to give them lane, but sometimes they'll just go. So what that guy did was a little dangerous, so just be mindful of riders like that. So you just gotta always look and then just slow down and just hug the corner, or just pull over if you can. Just what happened there could have been prevented, but fortunately Mikey, I think, saw him, so he kind of just let him pass, because his ego didn't get in the way of trying to catch up to him, and he knew that I was following him, so he didn't want to leave me behind. And that was kind of cool. That that's kind of like the kind of people you want to ride with in the canyon. Someone who's experienced, even though they're far ahead, you can still see them. They're not really gonna leave you, even when you encounter something like that. So that's the benefit of riding with someone. I wouldn't recommend riding alone in the canyon, especially if you're a beginner, or if you've been riding less than a year. I wouldn't recommend going in the canyon alone, just because I don't know. For me, I don't feel like I'm fully there yet. Just because anything can happen and no one's out there. You don't get network, so if something is to happen to you, like, no one's gonna really find you. If you fall down the cliff or down the ditch, like something happens to you, you could be there for hours and you don't know. You don't have network. I don't get network up here, so who knows what might happen. So just to be safe, like, if you really want to go in the canyon, please, I highly recommend that you plan with someone or set a schedule and you both show up. Don't show up alone. Go on a group ride, no more than 4 at tops. Anything more than 4, if you're a beginner rider or new like me, it might be a little too much, because you just never know. But that's just my opinion or my experience. I don't ride more than 4 at a time, just because sometimes people fall out of line when you're in a staggered formation, and you just need more experience, basically, and I need more experience. So the least amount of riders you have that you're with you, like, I think 2 to 3 is the perfect. That way you're in the middle, someone's in front of you and someone's behind you, so if you ride in canyons like this. So just do that if you can, but please do not ride alone. I highly recommend you do not ride alone. I've seen people go down in these canyons, and most of it, like twice that I've seen it go down, they're riding alone. And I find out that they've been riding for less than like 6 months. And that just tells you, it's like a lot of the new riders will go down riding the canyons by themselves. So I don't want to be part of the statistics, so that's why I'm just really trying to stay within my lane around riding this canyon, especially. That Angeles Crest is fairly good, but it can also, you can also get far ahead of yourself to where you can get overconfident because, you know, a couple times you ride this canyon, you feel like you've got it, and then there's certain times where you're just like, oh crap, I forgot about that. So you really got to know every corner in this thing, and this is like an hour one way for me. We're like under an hour from La Cañada all the way to Newcomb's ranch. So, but I don't know every single turn. I've been here almost more than at least 12, 13 times, and I still don't know every corner. So you just gotta know. You just gotta know where to go, and then just be safe. You know, like just follow the lines, and you never know what's on the road. You know, sometimes there could be anything that's hazardous. You know, or something can just run past you, like, you know, like a deer or something like that. So you just never know. You always gotta just be on your toes riding here, just because I don't recommend speeding here, going like over 100. I mean, if you can, more props to you. But for me, like if I'm gonna do that, I'd rather go on the track. At least on the track, you can take up the whole lane. This one, there's a center divider lane. You don't want to go over that. So that's just kind of just my experience. You know, like I love coming here. This is probably the best ride that I know of down here in Southern California. So I really love this. This is kind of like my Saturday morning ritual. So I come here every Saturday morning just to ride, and you can see, you know, I don't go past 60 maybe. So that's kind of like my limit if I'm on a straightaway, 60 to 70 tops. So yeah, so that's kind of like where I'm at, and then, you know, just following Mikey, and I'm telling him to just, you know, go ahead, keep going forward. You know, it's a nice R6 for an old 04. And right here, we're coming up to Newcomb's ranch. Kind of early, no one's still here, but this is kind of like a cool place. It just comes. It's historical. I'm sure you guys seen Twisted Wrist 2, Keith Code, and there's the famous roadhouse that everyone comes through. So it's kind of early, no one's here yet. A couple bikes here and there. Just made it here. So, you know, I'm just following Mikey here again, going back. He's kind of ahead of me, and then I'm probably gonna lose him, or he's gonna lose me for a little bit here. He's just gonna go, and then, you know, he wants to have his fun too. He needs experience. Like, dude, just go, and then I'll meet you at the next stop. And that's usually what we do. Like, you know, I'm not that fast. I try not to, because like you kind of hit that panic zone. So when you hit that panic zone, to like, okay, it's way beyond my comfort zone. That's when you gotta pull back. So like right here, for instance, like he's just waiting for me right here. So I'm gonna pull right, and then there he is right there. He's waiting for me, and then be like, okay, dude, go for it. And just tell him that, you know, I made it. Thanks for waiting for me. And then I'm just gonna wave him through and be like, go for it. There he is right there. It's a nice bike. Those R6s they really hold up. That's almost, it says 15-year-old bike, and it still holds up. So that tells you it's how you maintain. And, you know, he's been doing this for 20 years, so he knows how to take care of bikes. So it's just good to ride with people like him. Show you the ropes, and same time, you know, you gotta let them have their fun too. And it's just gorgeous out here today. He's just jamming. Well, he needs to get back. His wife only gave him a 2-hour window, so that's why he's jamming. He's all right. You gotta get back. I was like, cool, man. 2 hours is plenty of time. We could do that. So I'm glad his wife was nice enough to let us play for a couple hours. I'm gonna let him have his fun here. Chasing him, I'm probably going 50. He's probably going like 60 or 70 around these corners. So I always slow down. So when you're hitting these corners, you know, it's basic fundamentals. You just gotta slow down, look, turn, and then you gas. So slow down, you look, turn, and then you apply to your throttle. You know, every corner I just see go outside, slow down, look, turn, and slowly keep that throttle going and the turn when you exit out. I don't usually trail brake. I do quite a bit of engine braking, but I usually just slow down, just hit the brakes, outside, look, turn, and then when I come in the turn, I'm slowly hitting the throttle as I'm looking out, trying to hit the apex. So you go outside, and you're outside, then boom, you go back inside. So that's kind of like what I've learned from these guys, and you know, just practice. When I first started here, I was barely going 35, 40 in these turns, and then you keep going, you slowly feel more confident. But you know, I stay within my limits, so I'll go probably like no more than 75, 80% tops of more of my riding ability when I'm up here. I'm not trying to go 100 like some of these guys, and I'm not trying to. I'm just enjoying this ride right here. Same thing. So see, outside, turn, look, turn, and then slowly look at, like I said, I'm barely at 50 miles an hour right here, 51, 52. So I'm kind of, then when I exit, I go up just a little bit. I throttle out, you know, I just maintain that speed when I'm on that turn. So that's what I try to do. And also I'm going downhill too, so you gotta watch out. When you're going downhill, it's a whole new ball game. And for me on the R3, probably most of the time I'm on 4th gear. But if it's a straightaway, I'll probably go all the way to 6th. But coming downhill, I'm usually on 4th gear, 4th or 5th tops. Here's Mikey right, I just caught him on the stop sign, then boom, see, he just waits for you. So that's the kind of people you want to ride with, people that'll just wait for you. So yeah, so this is coming down now, back to La Cañada, and yeah, it was a nice run. So I hope that helped you guys. You know, just for new riders right there who wants to go in the canyon, just study this video. And you know, I've been riding for about 6 months now, and the reason I'm a little bit better than some of the people that I know that have been riding actually more than me is just because I come here every Saturday. And I just try to learn these turns. I just practice. You know, there's certain times where, you know, I've been over at yellow. So when that happens, you hit the panic zone. You're just like, crap. You kind of have this like fear of like, oh, I don't know if I want to go up there. That was scary. But you just gotta go. You gotta trust your instincts. You know, that should be a lesson to where, like, you know what, I got a little overconfident on that turn, but at the same time, it's still safe. Like, you can still ride it. You know, you just gotta be around people. Like, building rider confidence is having people around you telling you, it's like, hey man, that's happened to me before. It's okay, as long as you learn from it and make sure that you're not riding beyond your limits, then you'll be fine, and you'll go right back up there. You know, so if you fall, you don't stay down there when you fall. You just get right back up, and that's the whole point. You know, that's the whole point of riding for me. It's not a race; it's a marathon. You know, it's like who can ride the longest, whether it's a sport bike, a cruiser, or whatever bike you're riding. It's about who can ride the longest. You know, you want to ride fast, go 100, and then something happens and you're done. You get cut off at like at 40 or 50. You know, you want to be riding till like you're 80 or something. I've seen people in their 80s like riding still, and I wish I can keep riding. And that's the whole goal. You know, you're not racing anyone but yourself. You know, unless you want to be a pro, hey man, like go for it. But don't practice here. Go on tracks. This is kind of just a fun way of riding when it's all turns, you know. But at the same time, you got to be safe too. There's all kinds of things that get away. You know, you don't want to get into a collision with other riders or other drivers here. You just enjoy, man. Like, if people want to go 100 in these turns, let them. That's their goal, just to say, oh, you know, I can hit Angeles Crest like 100, 120. Like, more power to you, bro. That's not my goal. My goal is I just want to ride this. I want to ride this and just enjoy it. And if you're right on my tail and I see you, I'm gonna pull to the side and let you pass, because that's just how I ride, man. I don't care if you can go 200 or anything, or if you're riding a Ducati or R1 or 1000 cc leader bikes. Like, fine, you know, like that's you, that's your pace. I'm not worried about that. I'm just making sure that no one crashes. If I see a rider go down, I'm gonna pull over. You know, that's just how it is. Like, anyone in general. It could be a car rider, like, you know, if you're riding on these canyons, you know, to me, it's my responsibility to make sure that they're okay. If they're not, I can try to find help, or, you know, anything you need. It's just, you know, that's just an act of kindness. You know, it just brings out your humanity. You're like, oh shit, you do care. You don't want anyone riding here coming home and having I mean, tell bad news, something happened to them. It should be fun. People come out here, they look forward to this every week. I look forward to this every week because this is my one source of therapy. It's a lot cheaper than seeing therapy, and you get to enjoy it. So yeah. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions regarding how to ride here, or if you want to ride here and you can't find anyone to ride with you. Hit me in the comments below. I'm usually here Saturday every morning at 8 o'clock. I go to the Shell station, so leave any comments if you feel like you want to ride with somebody. I always ride with someone, so if you feel like you have no one to ride with, just leave a comment below. So I hope that helps, and thank you again for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe, and have a good week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Ride safe.